Scoble here for Rev3 Games, and I'm here with Daniel Suarez, who is the VP of Production for Activision. And you guys make big games, like this one, Call of Duty Ghosts. Thank you so much for your time and for talking to me. This is a big thing just strictly because it's Call of Duty, the biggest franchise in the world. It's huge. What's new here? This is going into the next gen with a very big franchise.
Sure. What's new? Well, today we had our big multiplayer reveal. Lots of new stuff to talk about. You know, a new creative class that allows you to customize your character. We talked about dynamic maps. We talked about a bunch of new game modes, new weapons, second screen support. I talked about esports. Talked about the tour that we're doing. Everything. So,
there's a lot of things going on. It was quite a circus of announcements.
Circus of Eminem. I didn't talk about Eminem.
Yeah, Eminem's in there. Oh, there's a big one. There's women in Call of Duty for the first time.
Right. And I think this is something that's been a long time coming to the franchise. I think a lot of people have wanted the ability to sort of customize the way they look. I think you've seen over the years a lot of people wanting to put a lot more personality into what they do in the game with their emblems in the game, the title cards that they use, and I think this time around it's going to be about what your character looks like. So there's right now there's about 20,000 different possible customization components. Your headgear, your face, your torso, the gear you're going to wear. We're going to unlock things during the year in terms of different things you're able to do to add more things to your character. But that's really one thing, and we've added a female character, which you saw in the trailer. And I think, you know, over the years, Call of Duty, we've had a huge sort of amount of people, female, on the casual side, and even on the competitive side, that are enjoying this game and being a part of it. And it just felt the right time to kind of introduce that.
Now, here's a question. This is going on current and next gen platforms at once. How much more is there on next gen? Like what's being stripped down? What's being slimmed out?
Sure. So for us, we want to put as much as we can in each version of the game. So we will give every single version as much as we can in terms of the fidelity of the look. The games themselves are the same across both platforms. So there's not one version that has one feature that the other one doesn't. We want to sort of make them the same in terms of their feature set. But in terms of next gen, yeah, the visuals are going to be a lot better. The resolution is going to be a lot stronger in terms of what we can actually push off on the visuals, on the particle effects, the lighting, all that kind of stuff. And we've talked about the tech that's been going into this to sort of make these things look that much better. So Sub D is an example that we're using to kind of round out the edges. On a higher resolution next gen system, you know, the stuff we're able to do in terms of the textures and even just the detail on the uniforms of the characters is going to look a lot better. But the core game itself is the same across all platforms. So when we talk about the audio improvements that we've done, a lot of that crosses over to what we're doing on current gen.
And you've got kind of dynamic battle chatter, is that it?
Yeah, that's, to me, when we look at the things that we're introducing this year, there's the big ticket things, right? You know, character customization,
you
dynamic
can blow
maps.
up a gas station, yeah.
But there's a lot of subtle things, and the dynamic battle chatter to me is one of those that, it's not a big headline changing thing, but when you get in the game and play, and if you play Call of Duty, it's gonna be one of the things you notice that suddenly, okay, you know, before it was like, sniper, or, you know, cover me, I'm reloading, or, you know, popping smoke, or whatever that dialogue was.
It's specific location.
Now it's specific, and if you think about, you know.
Somebody blew up the gas station.
Right.
But crap, a dog, yeah.
But the nomenclature of Call of Duty maps is usually developed by the community, right? It's like, oh, hey, I'm over by this thing, or I'm by the restaurant, or by that. Now the game is going to establish that nomenclature for you, and it'll be a lot easier to understand where things are relative to you. So we think that actually is going to change a lot of the way people sort of understand and fall into the maps and understand how they work and where they are. Because a lot of it, you know, when you design a MP map, you need to create sort of lanes and flows that are sort of understandable, landmarks that people understand when they're in the map. Okay, when I spawn in, where am I? Where am I in relation to where I need to go? And if it's a dom point, or you know.
Now there's a term for that if you're talking to your team.
That's right. So I think that's going to help a lot. It's a very subtle thing, but I think it's going to go a long way.
Yeah. Speaking of maps, that's a huge thing. You've got destructible environments.
Yep.
A little bit about that.
Sure.
Tell us about that.
So we showed off, I think 3 maps we're showing off today. One of them is Strike Zone. It's actually based off of a section of the campaign. And I think one of the coolest things in it is that it is a fully deformable map in the sense that when you start off, something is going to happen where someone calls in a kill streak and it completely changes as if this giant disaster has taken over the map. So it goes from one state to another state.
Which is kind of disorienting. That's a thing to...
Well, a lot of the sort of main lanes are still there, but the environment around you has changed. So cover has changed, and the ability to sort of know, okay, well, this is where this dom point was. Now the defenses for that dom point are a little different. So it really sort of changes up the gameplay, and it really makes you understand, okay, now I know what's going to happen when the game dynamic is going to change on that map.
So it's not like a full-on, like, you can just dig a hole in the ground or destroy anything you want, but it's like they're sort of booby traps kind of in the level almost.
Sure, absolutely. Like another map we have is it's set up in a forest area with tons of logs that are stacked up in a specific area. If you use, you know, a pretty drastic sort of weapon to blow everything up. Those will all sort of dismantle and create sort of havoc around you. But it's really, a lot of them are strategic in the way that they're actually built in. So, you know, not all of them are changing the dynamic look of the maps, but some of them do.
Okay. Competitive gaming is becoming a bigger and bigger thing every year. What is the approach you guys are taking towards esports?
Sure. I think for us, esports was a huge initiative, really sort of kicking off last year with Treyarch and building that into the feature set of the game, as well as us having the Call of Duty World Championships that we had in April. And we're doing that again this year. We're going to be doing another Call of Duty Championships in the spring of 2014. We announced we're part of the MLG circuit as the exclusive first-person shooter. So we've developed a great sort of partnership with the competitive groups. You know, we had competitive players here playing with the U.S. Marines, and you know, for us, that's a whole other different set of community that we sort of are focusing on. I think as you look at how big Call of Duty gets, there's your casual players that like the campaign. There's the guys that like the co-op mode. There's the guys that are, you know, the pro players. There's a female sort of group that we just talked about, female competitive, female casual. It's just, there's a large group of people that now interact with this franchise, and for us it's looking at saying, okay, who's there, what do they want, what are the features we need to integrate into the game to support these groups, and the competitive set is definitely one of those.
Cool. And then both next-gen consoles do have sort of streaming and recording and DVR capability. Can you talk about that at all?
So the next-gen systems are going to have built-in DVR functionality. Some of the features that we've had in the past, like the live streaming, will not be supported this time around in Ghost on current gen.
Cool. And when does this finally come out? Where is it coming to?
Well, November 5th, everywhere. And come out there and we'll see you guys online.
And it's Xbox One, Xbox, PS3, PS4, PC.
And Wii U.
Good God.
And Wii U. And we don't know the next-gen dates yet, but because we don't know when those are coming out, but definitely 360, PS3, PC, and Wii U.
Well, great. Thanks so much for chatting.
Thanks a lot, dude. Thank you.
All right. Stay tuned right here to Rev3 Games for the rest of our coverage.